Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Touchdown. What a World Cup this is turning out to be. A World Cup full of surprises, a World Cup full of upsets. Germany and Belgium have been knocked out in the first round, whereas the Asian nations have taken this World Cup by storm. Japan, now Korea, Australia all have reached the second round and they have performed brilliantly. African nations are also not too much behind. Senegal and Morocco have done brilliantly to qualify to the second round, and Cameroon is still to come while I'm recording this video. They also have an opportunity later today to qualify for the second round. As the group stages are coming to an end today, we will be moving very swiftly to the second round, and this is the knockout stages where 32 teams will have been trimmed down to 16, and now it is a do or die every match. You lose, you are out of the World Cup. Today we will be reviewing the first 4 knockout matches that are scheduled for Saturday and Sunday, and we are going to be starting off with Netherlands versus US of A. Now Netherlands from Group A, as expected, coasted through the group, winning 2 matches and drawing the third one and finishing with 7 points. Their team was ably led by Virgil van Dijk at the back, whereas Cody Gakpo was a revelation in the attacking sense. He has become the first player in 36 years to score in each and every group stage game in a World Cup. It is no surprise that he is being chased by a lot of teams across Europe, and he has shown that how good he can be on a given day. The Netherlands team will be facing the American team, who barely qualified from their group, but that was even still a great achievement given the fact that their group was full of big teams like Iran, Wales and England as well. Now America, their star player Christian Pulisic has been injured now. We are not sure whether he will be playing any further part in this World Cup. But really, America has done really well to reach the second round, and it would be definitely a surprise. Well, if we can call that, this World Cup is anything but full of surprises itself. That it will be a surprise if they manage to reach the quarterfinals. Netherlands should have far too much gunpowder to eliminate America and move to the next round. So my guess is Netherlands going through within 90 minutes and beating America to reach the quarterfinals. The second quarterfinal will pit the perennial favorites Argentina against Australia. Now Argentina started off this World Cup with a whimper, losing to unfancied Saudi Arabia, and everybody was counting them out after the first match itself. However, led by the mercurial Messi, they have come back and they won their next 2 matches pretty comfortably and actually qualified in the first place from their group itself. Now, not only Messi, there have been certain other stalwarts as well in their team who have performed ably well, like Enzo Fernandez, who scored a brilliant goal, whose goal should be termed as the goal of the tournament so far. And there are other forward players like Angel Di Maria who have decided to come to the party. They put the shocker that was the Saudi Arabia game behind them and put their minds over matter and easily won their final 2 games to qualify for the next round. They would be facing an unfancied Australian team, but what an achievement from this Australian team. They were not expected to come through from their group, which included teams like Tunisia as well. But they fought really hard. They lost their first match to France, but that was expected. But they turned around and came back and won their next 2 matches and qualified from this particular group. Now, Australians, not really known for their soccer love. Their first love is obviously Australian football and cricket and hockey as well. But there was a large number of Australians who woke up at 3 a.m. and you would have seen the party scenes when they managed to qualify from this tough group. They would do well to actually run Argentina ragged in this particular knockout match. But Argentina is now on a roller coaster, and it is very difficult to see any result beyond an Argentinian win. But with Argentina, you never know. You never know which Argentina team will turn up on a particular day. But I still assume that Messi, Enzo Fernandez, Angel Di Maria should have enough firepower to put it across Australia and reach the quarterfinals. The third match will pit the reigning champions France against Poland. Now, France really looked the part when they won their first two matches very, very easily and looked on course to doing a clean sweep of the group. But then they decided, since they had already won the group, they decided to rest their regular players and played a weekend team against Tunisia. And Tunisia, in fact, managed to upset them. And but this upset should be taken with a pinch of salt. Frankly, France did not want to tire out their major players. They tried to play their backup players, give them some game time as well. And as a result, they lost the match, but they will not be too much worried about the same. I mean, they are missing some of the star quality players, but it has not impacted them at all. And the primary reason being their bench strength is exemplary. Now, coming to their opponents, Poland, they have just huffed and puffed and almost went out of the tournament, but just managed to qualify, even though they lost their last match to Argentina 2-0. But they managed to qualify because Saudi Arabia scored a late goal against Mexico, which helped them to qualify. Now, apart from Lewandowski, I mean, Poland does not have any major player to talk about. Even Lewandowski is not firing at all. And I think this team is the best that Poland could have hoped for. And I believe that France should be able to put it across Poland and reach the quarterfinals. The final match that I'm going to be previewing today is going to be between England and Senegal. England, is it coming home? I really don't think so. Even though England has been sensational in the first round, they usually manage to huff and puff their way to the next rounds. But in this particular case, they have been pretty convincing. Apart from their match against US of A, which they managed to draw. But otherwise, they have been pretty good. Their star players, Marcus Rashford, has come to the party, and so has Bukayo Saka. I mean, they're still waiting for Harry Kane to score. And I believe it's not too far. I think he has looked good, but he has just not managed to score. But overall, England has played really well, and again, they would be hoping, they should be considered as favourites against Senegal. Senegal after losing their first match to Netherlands, then came back, defeated the host Qatar, and then required a win over Ecuador, which they managed to do. Now, without Sadio Mane, Senegal has done well to reach the later stages, the knockout stages. But I think it will be a bridge too far when they will play England. England, with their superior firepower and quality all across the pitch, should be good enough to reach the quarterfinals as well. So moving on to the next stage, today we are going to be talking about the controversial goal that Japan scored and that helped them reach the next round at expense of Germany. Now, some of the viewers have been asking me as to what I think about this particular goal and whether. To give a brief context, Germany was leading against Costa Rica in the group match, which meant that Japan was going out. They really needed to win the match. At the start of the second half, Japan was 1 goal down against Spain, but they came back wonderfully well, equalized when Unai Simon made a mistake in the Spanish goal. Now, with score 1-1, it was not good enough for Japan, so they kept on attacking, and in one such move, the ball reached the line very closely. Mitamo crossed it, and Tanaka managed to score the goal. Now, the matter went to VAR because the ball was very, very close to the touch line, and it had to be determined whether it has crossed the line entirely or not. Now, the rule very, very clearly states that the ball has to entirely cross. So even the curvature of the ball has to cross the line entirely, whether in air or on ground. And in some of the VAR visuals that were supplied, it appeared that the ball had not crossed the line. Whereas certain other pictures, I mean, I'm not very sure about the veracity of those. It does appear that the ball had crossed the line. So, and the discussion has been ongoing since yesterday, but VAR officials have made it clear that the top view that you are seeing on your picture, top view suggested that the curvature of the ball did not cross the line and it was still in play, and that's why the goal was entirely fair. My particular view is that since it was not very clear, one of the angles suggests that it had crossed the line, while the top view suggests that it was still in play, that whatever decision was taken was final and everybody had to abide by it. Now, it was a very difficult and painful one for Germany because they got knocked out. But again, you cannot basically say that this decision was pivotal in their elimination. I mean, the first match that they played against Japan, they were leading at halftime, but they allowed Japan to come back and win that match. And basically from that, they were fighting. After that point onwards, they were fighting a losing battle. Japan, again, I mean, beating both Spain and Germany in their group, which was a group of death, and then coming on the top of the group, not just qualifying, but coming on top of the group, is a humongous achievement. And I think kudos to the Japanese coach and the Japanese team for doing so brilliantly. And again, I would like to wish them all the very best. I'm hoping that the Asian teams achieve something very, very special in this particular World Cup. Also, I would like to hear from each and every one of you as to what you thought about that particular goal, and hence I've created a poll on my channel. So please go there and provide your comments as to what did you think about that particular goal. So that's it for today's episode of Touchdown. Tomorrow I will be coming again live to talk about the remaining 4 knockout matches, and then we would be definitely moving into the quarterfinal stage. This World Cup is heating up. This is going to be one brilliant party that is going to last for another 2 weeks. So keep switched in and keep watching Touchdown for further updates. Goodbye.